My Yogesh, the content share చేయడానికి permission. Shoulder joint. Today we are going to discuss about shoulder joint. Okay, కనిపిస్తుందా? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the most flexible and most mobile joint in our body, that is shoulder joint. So it is also called as glenohumeral joint. So we already know that the type of joint is ball and socket joint. So and the joint is between scapula and humerus. It is the only joint and the major joint that connects the upper limb to the trunk. So it is very crucial joint for every human being. So it will connect the upper limb to the trunk so that we can perform most of the functions. So it is the and and anything so, and so that shoulder joint is the most important thing. So structures of a shoulder joint. Each and every will have the following structures. There are articular surfaces. Nothing but the two surfaces that are in between the two joint bones with the joint forms. Okay, what are the structures? The bones with the joint form, they are called as articular surfaces. And next, ligaments of the joints. So ligaments help in the stability of the joints. They will help in the stability of the joint, maintaining the stability of the joint, and also tendons. Next, muscles and bursae. Bursae are nothing but sac-like structures. They are bag-like structures. They will provide the cushion for the joint to minimize the tearing or friction. The bursae are present. And the vasculature, nothing but the blood supply of the joint and the nerve supply. So the articular surface. Articular surface, the joint is formed by the articulation of the head of the humerus with the glenoid cavity of the scapula. So the joint is between the humerus and the scapula, and the surfaces that are facing participating in the joint formation are the head of the humerus and the glenoid cavity. So due to the participation of the glenoid cavity of the scapula and the head of the humerus of the head of the humerus, the joint is also called as glenohumeral joint. So this is a synovial joint, and the type of the joint is ball and socket joint. So each and every synovial joint is covered by, the surface is covered by a cartilage called as hyaline cartilage. So the head of the humerus. So the shoulder joint is the most mobile joint in the body. To provide the most mobility, there is a small equation in the size of the two articular surfaces. That is, the head of the humerus is very larger than the glenoid cavity, almost 4 times larger than the glenoid cavity, so that the movement will be more free. Because of the glenoid cavities, we can observe this in the future. The glenoid cavity is very small than the head of the humerus. So we know that this is the glenoid cavity and this is head of the humerus. There is no equation equality. The head of the humerus is very large than the glenoid cavity. In order to provide more and more movement, easy in the movement, mobility, to provide more mobility. But in order to stabilize the joint, there is a labrum, fibrocartilaginous rim. It is called as glenoid labrum. The glenoid labrum will be situated around the glenoid cavity. So it will make the glenoid cavity and the articular surface more shallow. Okay. So next one is joint capsule. The joint capsule, it is a fibrous sheet which encloses the structure of the joint. So the joint capsule usually encloses the joint. Okay. What are the structures of the joint? The structures of the joint are nothing but the head of the humerus and the glenoid cavity. Okay. So the joint capsule extends from the anatomical neck of the humerus to the border or rim of the glenoid fossa. So, and the joint capsule is very lax so that it permits the mobility of the joint. And the inner surface of the joint capsule is lined by a membrane called synovial membrane. So the membrane will produce the synovial fluid. So we all know that the synovial fluid will helpful in the reducing the friction of the articular surfaces. So continuously the head of the humerus will be moving continuously, around above the glenoid cavity, glenoid fossa. So if at all it is dry and there is no synovial fluid, what will happen? There will be friction and there will be more and more pain. So in order to reduce the friction, there is a synovial membrane and the synovial membrane will be secreting the synovial fluid. So that the because of the synovial fluid, there will be friction and it helps in the mobility. So next one is bursae. The bursae, the important bursae are subacromial bursae. Subacromial bursae, I already told that the bursae is nothing but the bag-like structures that are containing the synovial fluid. Okay. The subacromial bursae. Subacromial bursae means it is present beneath the acromial. Subacromial bursa. Yes, subacromial bursa. Okay, acromial process. It is present below the acromial process. Okay, and superficial to the supraspinatus tendon. The subacromial bursa reduces the friction between the deltoid, promote the motion of the rotator cuff tendons. Next, subscapular bursa. Subscapular bursa is located between subscapularis tendon and the scapula. So, subscapular. So, it is present between the subscapularis muscle and the scapula. Subscapularis tendon and the scapula. So, it will provide the cushion for the free movement of the shoulder joint. The next thing is ligaments. Ligaments are nothing but the structures that are thread-like structures that are helpful in providing stability to the joints. We all know that ligaments will tie the joint to another joint, tie one bone to another bone. It will connect one bone to the another bone. Very hard. They are very hard structures, ligaments, so that they will be helpful in the mobility. So there are some ligaments. The first one is glenohumeral ligament. Glenohumeral ligament. So the joint capsule is formed by this group of ligaments connecting the humerus to the glenoid fossa. They are the main source of stability for the shoulder. So come. Okay. These are glenohumeral ligaments. So what will they do? They will helpful in the stability. So it is attached to the head of the humerus to the scapula. The connects the glenohumeral ligament connects the head of the humerus to the scapula. They will tie the head of the humerus to the scapula so that the shoulder joint will be in stable condition. The next one is coracohumeral ligament. Coracohumeral ligament attaches the base of the coracoid process to the greater tubercle of the humerus. So, coracohumeral ligament. So this one is coracohumeral ligament. Next one is transverse humeral ligament. Transverse humeral ligament, it is present between the two tubercles and it holds the tendon of long head of biceps in the intertubercular groove. Next one is transverse humeral ligament. This. So transverse humeral ligament. Okay, this is transverse humeral ligament. So this is head of the humerus, and these are the greater tubercle and lesser tubercle, and this is a groove. In this groove, the tendon of biceps brachii muscle will be present. This is the tendon of biceps brachii muscle, and the transverse humeral ligament will hold the tendon of biceps brachii muscles, and it is present between the two tubercles. It connects the two tubercles. Next one is coracoclavicular ligaments. Coracoclavicular ligaments. So in the name we can find out what are the structures they are connecting. Coracoclavicular ligaments. So there are two structures, coracoid process and the clavicule. So we can see here. The ligaments are present between coracoid process and the clavicule. So in between the coracoid process and the clavicule, the ligaments are present. They are known as coracoclavicular ligaments. So what will they do? They will bring the clavicle close to the scapula. They will bring the తాడు పెట్టి లాగినట్టు అన్నమాట, గట్టిగా లాగి కట్టినట్టు. Okay, so that what will happen? They will form the shoulder girdle. They will form the shoulder girdle. Next, coracoacromial ligament. Coracoacromial ligament, it's present between coracoid process, acromion process. Okay, so this is coracoacromial ligament. So what will it do? Coracoacromial ligament. So this is the coracoacromial ligament. So it will prevent the head of the humerus to extend anterior side. Ante it will prevent the hand to raise upwards anamata, baga paiki vachesi joint indu nunchi bayatiki oodachekunda. So what are these ligaments doing ante, the main thing the ligaments doing are providing stability and keeping the joint attached ante in position, joints in position. Okay, the bursa provides the cushion-like substance. Cushion-like, they are nothing but cushions. They will helpful in the movements without friction. Okay. Next, movements. So the shoulder joint is a ball and socket joint. Each and every ball and socket joint will have wide range of movements. So ball and socket joints will have wide range of movements. So non-normal movements are extension. So we can see the extension here. Next, flexion, extension, abduction, and adduction. Next, internal rotation, it is also called as medial rotation. Next, lateral rotation. These are the basic movements of the shoulder joint. What are those? External rotation, internal rotation or medial rotation, abduction and adduction, and flexion and extension. These are the basic movements of the shoulder joint. Next, the factors that contribute to the mobility of the joint. So we already know that it is a ball and socket joint. So the type of the joint itself helpful. The ball and socket joint, because it's ball and socket joint, it is very mobile. Next, bony surfaces. Bony surfaces, we already explained that the two articular surfaces are head of the humerus and the glenoid fossa. So the glenoid fossa is 4 times smaller than the head of the humerus, so that there will be no of the glenoid fossa over the head of the humerus. So the head of the humerus can freely rotate to its wish. Next, laxity of the joint capsule. So the joint capsule is formed by the cartilage, and also there is bursa, so that there will be very free movements. Next, factors that contribute to the stability. The stability is maintained by the muscles, rotator cuff muscles. They will surround the shoulder joint, attaching to the tuberosity of humerus, so that they will helpful in the stability. Next, glenoid labrum. So we already explained about there will be around the glenoid fossa, around the circumference of the glenoid fossa, there is a cartilage structure. It is called as glenoid labrum. It is a fibrocartilage structure. So it will helpful in the deepening of the cavity. So it makes the cavity more shallow or hollow. Okay, so that it will covers the head of the humerus. Next, ligaments. We have dealt with the ligaments, coracohumeral ligaments, coracoacromial ligaments, glenohumeral ligaments. These are the ligaments which will be helpful in the stability of the joints. And the biceps tendon. Biceps tendon, biceps brachii tendon, it also present in the groove that is present between the two tubercles, intertubercular groove, and so that it will be helpful in the stability. And neurovasculature. Vasculature में the blood supply shoulder joint. They are the branches of axillary artery and also branches of suprascapular artery. Branch of cervical trunk will also fit. So the most important arteries that are supplying the joint are anterior and posterior several arteries. Anterior and posterior circumflex humeral arteries are the arteries. Those arteries are the branches. Next, and so this is about shoulder. Shoulder joint, the articular surfaces are two articular surfaces. They are fossa most stable and the most flexible and the most mobility on the joint is so that the factor that contribute to the mobility type of the joint once again we will go to the ligaments. What are the elements? Coracoacromial ligament, coracohumeral ligament. The coracohumeral ligament is present in the head of the humerus and the coracoid process, and the transverse humeral ligament. The transverse humeral ligaments will hold the tendon of biceps brachii muscles. The tendon of biceps brachii muscle is also helpful in the maintenance of the stability of the shoulder joint. So coming to the clinical anatomy, shoulder joint dislocation. So in orthopedy, the orthopedicians will come into close. They will observe most of the cases are shoulder joint dislocations because of the laxity of the muscles and the most flexibility and the mobility. It is more prone to dislocate. చాలా సార్లు చెయ్యి డిస్లొకేట్ అయిపోతూ ఉంటుంది అన్నమాట, షోల్డర్ డిస్లొకేషన్. మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద పీపుల్ విల్ అబ్జర్వ్ దట్ వైల్ హోల్డింగ్ థింగ్స్, పైన కింద పడిపోయినప్పుడు, లేకుంటే వైల్ ఎవరైనా చేపట్టి లాగినా కానీ దే విల్ ద షోల్డర్ జాయింట్ విల్ బి డిస్లొకేటెడ్. అండ్ ఆల్సో హెడ్ ఆఫ్ ద షోల్డర్ జాయింట్ డిస్లొకేషన్ కెన్ బి who are adapted to the dislocation continuously. The shoulder joint dislocate type of, and they will like make the joint to the normal position అన్నమాట. అట్లా అలవాటు అయిపోతుంది. రోజులో ఒకసారైనా భుజం జారిపోయిద్ది అనమాట, మళ్ళీ అలా జాగ్రత్తగా పెట్టుకుంటూ ఉంటారు. So we can observe those cases also. The most important clinical anatomy is shoulder joint dislocation. So any doubts? Hello. Hello. Who is that?
సార్ డిస్లొకేట్ అయిపోయినప్పుడు మళ్ళీ దానంతట అదే ఫిక్స్ అవుతుందా సార్?
దానంతట అదే ఫిక్స్ అవ్వదు. మనం చేతిని పట్టుకుని జాగ్రత్తగా లాక్కొని పైన పెట్టుకుని సరి చేసుకుంటాం అనమాట. యూజువల్లీ దిస్ థింగ్ విల్ బి అబ్జర్వ్డ్ ఇన్ ఫిలిమ్స్ అనమాట. సినిమా హీరోలు ఎలా పట్టంగానే జాగ్రత్తగా ఇలా పెట్టేసుకుంటారు చూసావా, అలాగా. కానీ హ్యావ్ సీన్ మెనీ కేసెస్ షోల్డర్ జాయింట్ డిస్లొకేషన్, రికరెంట్ డిస్లొకేషన్ ఆఫ్ షోల్డర్ జాయింట్స్ అనమాట. అట్లా ఏం చేస్తారంటే చెయ్యి పెట్టుకుంటారు, చెయ్యి అటు ఇటు తిప్పుకుంటే మళ్ళీ నార్మల్ గా లొకేట్ అయిపోద్ది. బికాస్ వాళ్ళ టెండాన్స్ లెగ్మెంట్స్ అన్ని ఏమవుతుందంటే హై లాక్సేట్ అంటే సాగిపోతాయి డ్యూ టు డిఫరెంట్ రీజన్స్ అనమాట. వాళ్ళ లెగ్మెంట్స్ అనేవి బాగా హై లాక్సేటివ్ అయిపోతాయి, సాగిపోతాయి. సో దట్ తరచుగా వచ్చేస్తూ ఉంటది అనమాట. సో ఒక నెల 2 నెలలు లేకపోతే ఒక సంవత్సరం అట్లాగా, అంటే రెగ్యులర్ గా వస్తూ ఉంటుంది. వాళ్ళు పెట్టుకుంటూ ఉంటారు. ఇంకెప్పుడో ఒకసారి గట్టిగా ఎవరో పట్టుకుని లాగడమో, లేకపోతే ఏదో బాల్ ఎసరడమో, లేకపోతే బిందె ఎత్తడమో చేస్తారు. అలా చేసిన తర్వాత మొత్తానికి జారిపోయింది అనమాట. అప్పుడు హాస్పిటల్కి వస్తారు. అప్పుడు మళ్ళీ సర్జరీ చేసి ఏ లెగ్మెంట్ అయితే కొంచెం దానికి ఇబ్బంది పెడుతుందో ఆ లెగ్మెంట్ ఫస్ట్ రిడక్షన్ అంటారు, రిడక్షన్ ఆఫ్ ద డిస్లొకేషన్ చేస్తారు. అంటే ఏంటంటే జాగ్రత్తగా మనం కదా ఆ ల్యాబ్లో పెడతాము. ఆ లెగ్మెంట్స్ అన్ని ఏం చేస్తామంటే మళ్ళీ దగ్గరికి తీసుకొచ్చి టైట్ గా టైట్ చేస్తారనమాట. లేదా సమ్ రేర్ కేసెస్ లో చిన్న స్క్రూ లాంటిది వేస్తారు, సమ్ రేర్ కేసెస్ లో. ఓకే, సో ఇంకేమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయా? హలో ఓకే, we shall leave. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Bye. Thank you. చాలా మంచి అమ్మాయి. అందరూ వేస్ట్, ఇంకెవరు కనీసం రెస్పాండ్ కూడా కారు. వాళ్ళు ఎవరో అమ్మాయి పేరు రాలేదు అడిగింది క్వశ్చన్. హర్షిత. ఓకే వెరీ గుడ్. హర్షిత కూడా మంచి అమ్మాయి. అబ్బాయిలు కూడా మాట్లాడరా? ఎవరు వచ్చారు అసలు? ఎవరు మన వాళ్ళు? నేను అసలు